Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy True Crime Tuesday. I hope you guys, yes, Marisol, I did. We will discuss that on the Malarkey Live that will be followed right by this one. We're going to do an hour here and then I'll take a little break and then I'll come back for the Malarkey. So definitely check that out. She just needs to replace the battery or keep it plugged in. I don't know what y'all talking about, but hey. And, I meant to message you. I still have to send you that payment. As soon as I saw your name, I thought about it. Um, so yeah, I'm sure you've messaged me to let me know where to pay. I just haven't checked my messages. So I'll do that on my break. Let me write it down so I don't forget. Oh shit. Somebody took my pen. Isn't that the worst when you like have a pen at your desk and it's gone? Damn it. Hold on. Let me grab a pen. It's one reason I like this headset because I can walk around and still talk to y'all. Here we go. All right. I hope everybody is having a great start to your week. All right, let me get back to my desk. Hey, everybody. Hope everybody. Yes, I will check my messages. Let me see. And check message payment. Because I cannot wait. If you guys like Scentsy, definitely check out Anne. She is my Scentsy girl. I love me a good gardenia wax melt. And she's my plug. So I gotta pay my plug, y'all. Dang. If you're on Kick, if you're over on Facebook after the game, because you guys know we always start out True Crime Tuesday with 2 rounds of time waster matching the arrestee with their crime, their tattoo, their weapon, whatever it is. Miss you. So here we go. But we do have a lot to talk about with the malarkey. So definitely come back if you guys are interested in that. We got a lot to talk about with true crime as well. And our main story today is a little different than what we normally do. But I do think there may be a crime in there somewhere. I feel like there's something going on there. So I do want to talk about it. And yeah, but it is a little bit different. But I thought it would be a good topic since I've covered these people before. Oh, gardenia is my favorite. My favorite gardenia. My favorite scent is gardenia by far. Like as far as like wax burners or anything like that. Hey, happy Taco Tuesday. I did see it, Jenny. That's what I was talking about. Somebody mentioned it, and I said, well, we're definitely going to be discussing it. So, yes. All right. So, here's how it works. You guys know we have one, two, three, four, and five suspects, and we have five um, crimes. So, we have to match the crime to the person. I think this one's funny because bigamy is a crime here. Um, I'm pretty sure bigamy is when you're married to more than one person, which I think is crazy because, nowadays people have thruples and stuff and they just do what they call a commitment ceremony. But I'm assuming bigamy is like when you actually go down, get a marriage license knowing you're already married. I would assume that's what it is. But if it's just people that's, have a wife already on paper and then get a commitment ceremony, well, a lot of people should be arrested. Um, so let me know what you guys think. We have bigamy, racing on the highway, exposure of private parts, driving while intoxicated, and domestic battery. I know one thing. Number one and number two, well, even three has a little bit of a smirk, but number two definitely giving that smirk like, bitch, I did it and I'm okay with it. And number one is like, I don't know. Maybe he's bigamy. I don't know. You guys let me know. What do you think? What the people are one, two, three, four, and five. What do you think they did? Let me know in the comments. I randomly pick comments and we put them in there. We don't take a lot of time on it. Remember your answers though, because I may not pick yours. Number three is bigamy. That's the first one I saw. All right. I might not pick your answers, but it is kind of a joint thing. I just pick at random and then we see what we get. Number one is exposure. Maybe that's why he's so happy. All right. What do we got? What do we got? One is exposure. There's two people that said one is exposure, so we're definitely going with it. You think they're in the right spot already? Oh, that's interesting. If it would be in the right spot, that'd be wild. Hey, Becky. Yeah, everybody's agreeing that number 3 is bigamy, except for Colette. Colette says 1 is bigamy. 1 DWI. We got 1 for exposure. So what do we think? What do we think? Number 3 is what, Laurel? Ooh, you think number 2. 1 is racing on highway. We already got 1 and 3. So what is 2, 4, and 5? What do we think 2, 4, and 5? Hey, Cheryl. Hey, May May. 5 is domestic and 4 is a fight. All right. So 5 is domestic. 4. Wait, what? 4 is a fight. There's only 1 fight, domestic, so we'll put that one there. Uh, 2 is racing on the highway. All right, and then we got driving while intoxicated. Let's see what we got. Drum roll, please. 1 out of 5, y'all. All right, we got bigamy right. Y'all were right. Good. Give yourselves a hands of applause. You were right on the bigamy. All right, here we go. Number 1, driving while intoxicated. Number 2, domestic battery. I told y'all she didn't. I told y'all she was mad. She was not mad about it. She said, "Hell yeah, I did. I'll do it again." Number 3 got bigamy. I mean, why? I'm single and he's charged with bigamy. No, I'm just playing. Number 4 is the exposure. Ew. And number 5 is racing on a highway. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go backwards. Let's go to the game here because we already did last week, so I have to kind of skip around a little bit. We did that one too. Man, those are my favorite too. Go to page 3. Let me see. Oh, did we do this one? Yeah, we did that one. I remember. I always pick the ones out with like the uh what did they steal type thing. Oh, did you see Mario and Luigi's mustache on that one? Oh, here we go, y'all. Here we go. All right, this is one of these are my favorites, I think. The tattoo ones are good, but I feel like the tattoo ones are easy, especially if you can see skin tone and different things, like a woman's body versus a man's. It's kind of easy. But here we have, and here's a funny one because usually criminals will have like a the criminals will have something in common. I'm assuming that these criminals were supposed to all have orange shirts, except number 5 doesn't have the orange shirt. But all right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Number 2, she is mad about it, honey. Number 4 looks disgusted with her decisions, and number 5 looks like he just woke up. So we've got pickles. What the hell is this? What is number 2? I don't know what the hell number 2 is, y'all. If y'all can let me know what number 2 is, because I don't know what that is. 3 is tape. 4 is not the Stanley Cup. And number 5 is the curling iron. And by the way, this curling iron was my favorite curling iron for years. It had like the circle dial in the middle where you could turn the heat and stuff up. My favorite curling iron for years. Not now, but it was for years. Anybody else remember that curling iron? Number 4 curling iron. Okay, we got that one. All right, let me see. Oh, everybody's saying 4 curling iron, except for Christine said 1 was curling iron. Um, I just Pillow Princess story. What about the Pillow Princess story? 2 is tape or 2 is pickle? Ooh, let's go with pickle. Um, because a couple people said 2 is pickle. Oh, you said 4 is pickle. Oh, it's a flashlight. Yeah, I don't know. It don't even look like a flashlight to me. Hey, Lady Reese. Looks like a speaker. Oh, it could be a speaker. A back roller? I think speaker maybe. Number 3 is speaker. All right, 3 is speaker. Now all we got left is tape and a Stanley Cup. Oh, you think 5 is pickles. 2 is an exercise roller for your back. Oh, okay. All right. We got 1 and 5, guys. 1 and 5. My mom had that curling iron when I was growing up, and I loved it. Everybody's saying 5 is pickles. If 5 is pickles, we're in trouble. All right, 5 is tape. There we go. 5 is tape. Stanley for number 1. Let's drum roll, please. 2 out of 5. Oh, she got the tape. Man, oh, we got 3 and 4 right, you guys. All right, so number 1, he used the kosher spears. Well, maybe he got it messed up. It does say spear. So, I mean, maybe he looked at it, he said, "A spear? Oh, that's a weapon. A spear is a weapon, baby. It's not a flashlight, it's a back roller to pull your muscles." All right, all right. All right, so he got a spear, but it was a pickle spear instead. She used tape, honey, and I bet she did something mean as hell with that tape the way she's looking at that camera. She said, "Honey, I will tape your ass up." Number 3, use the back roller slash flashlight slash whatever else we said it was. Number 4, I knew she had that old school curling iron, honey. And number 5, Stanley Cup. There you have it. For another thank you for joining me for another game of Time Waster. If you're on Facebook, that's the end of the road for you. Um, Kids fight with Stanley Cups. I bet that would hurt. Yes, they were using them as a weapon, Colette. So that's why I always think it's interesting. 4 is the only one with hair, Heather said. That's why I think it's so interesting because I always wonder, like, because they don't give you the names of the people, where it happened, anything like that. That's the kind of curling iron my mom dropped on her eyeball. Ooh, gosh, FBI. That escalated quickly. Um, I thought you were gonna say dropped it on her foot or something. Jesus. Um, Now I'm traumatized by the curling iron story. Hey, Itchy. So, if you're on Facebook, make sure you come on over. All you have to do is go to the live that you're in, scroll to the top of the page, click the link, come on over, join us. If you want to join in the chat, enter at your own risk. Although we're on true crime, so it's not as bad here. He stole a jar for his prey. Well, this is a weapon, Barbara. They're not even saying that's what they stole. They're saying it's a weapon. So that's why I say, like, they don't tell you the type of like, they don't tell you where it is or their names or anything. But sometimes I would love to know what they did with these weapons. Like, did they throw the jar of pickles? Did they try to use it as a spear? What did they do? But yeah, so we're on true crime. It's not as bad, but still enter at your own risk. If you see something or someone you do not like, all you have to do is block them. Unless you want to tussle and have at it. But also, while you're here, please go and hit that X on the right hand side of your live chat. Go out and hit the thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. I hit her with a pumpkin once. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I want to know. Hold on, I did forget to turn it on subs earlier. Usually I've been trying to turn on the subscribers before the live even happens. Like once I turn on the 30-minute warning, I usually go in and do the subscribers, but I forgot today. Yeah, I guess, Donna. Yes, it kills my curiosity to know, especially with some of them. I'm like, how the hell did they use that as a weapon? But hey, people, you see whatever you see lying around is what you grab, right? Um, Excuse me. All right, so we do have, let me go ahead and say bye to Facebook. Bye. We do have a few updates that people had asked me about, so I did want to give those updates. The first update is in the case with 17-year-old Miss Patrick. She actually is the one that we covered where she offed her parents allegedly and then allowed her 5-year-old sister to find them both in bed to then once her 5-year-old sister found them in bed, she called 911. This happened in February, and then 4 months, I believe 5 or 6 months, she then posted on TikTok crying about how she needed help. She was reaching out to true crime people on TikTok and YouTube saying she needed help to find her parents' killer. All of these things, come to find out it was her that did it. So I do have an update in that case and a little summary. This is only like a minute long.
Of her crying. This was posted on March 18th, less than a month after she allegedly killed her parents, with the caption, quote, "Please send prayers for healing and a break from everything." She presented herself as a victim, a young girl who lost her parents to senseless violence. But again, as you watch these, law enforcement say she's the one who did it. Look at this post. This is from March 1st, just weeks after she She allegedly killed her mom and stepdad in their sleep. She posts a tribute video to them with the caption, quote, "They don't know it, but a year from now, me and my 5-year-old sister would find them wrongfully shot dead in our home and won't get to watch me graduate high school, see me walk down the aisle, and couldn't even say goodbye."
Ms. Patrick, because of that, I'm bound by the law, and I do not believe that you would be a proper candidate for bond at this time. I do not want anyone to sit in jail unnecessarily. So those are the dates. Any questions, Ms. Williams or the state, about those dates? Anything else from the state? All right, that'll be the order of the court. Everybody has their dates. We have a plan of attack moving forward. Hope everyone has a good day.
So that's it. So that's it. That's the update. She was crying in court, and she was denied bail, which I think is a smart thing. But that's the only update so far. She does have court planned at a later date, but as you could tell, she is continuing to cry, but now she's crying for herself, which, in my opinion, she was crying for herself all along to, make herself more believable. But he did deny her bond. He said that she was not a good candidate for bond. Yes, Elizabeth, this was one of our true crime stories that we covered here. I looked and I think we've been doing true crime now. Well, I've been doing true crime stories since 2021, off and on. It wasn't ever something that I focused on. Um, it was just when I saw one I liked, I would obviously I watch true crime all the time, but when I saw a case I was interested in, I would cover it. But we have been doing True Crime Tuesdays for over 8 months now. So that's definitely I'm loving that we're building a community about it. The other update that I wanted to give you guys was about the bunker story. The horrible bunker story in Bibb, I believe it was a Bibb, Alabama. Yeah, Bibb County, Alabama. If you guys remember, this was one of the main pictures that they showed, and, like, you could see that concrete that is actually like a concrete pole, like, it's a obviously, this looks like a basement. That concrete, it's not an actual wall, it's a pole, so they would chain them to that pole. But the judge did issue a gag order in the Bibb County bunker case, prohibiting attorneys and law enforcement from discussing the case with the media. And of course, as you know, so far, 8 suspects have been charged in connection with the underground bunker where children were SA. Authorities have indicated that more arrests are possible. If you remember, there were children, I believe there was 10 children ages 3 to 15 that were affected that we know of. In recent court hearings, 7 of the suspects, Rebecca, William, Andre, Sarah, Ricky,
New
Olivia,
crafted flats from
hold
Pizza
on,
Hut are just $5 each till 5 p.m. Choose
um, Ricky, Olivia, and Timothy were arraigned in court, and they all pled not guilty. That's what I thought was crazy. They all pled not guilty. So let me just show you a little video real quick. So I thought that was interesting that they did a gag order. I'm not sure, they do gag orders in these cases for different reasons. I'm wondering if they did a gag order in this particular case because they are looking for more people involved, because from what I gathered, it seemed like they were doing videos of these children. And, once, if they're producing these videos of these children, then there is a whole network that is receiving these. Maybe even a lot of times, sick individuals like this, they will trade because they're scared it's law enforcement. So they'll get on these, like, I would say dark web, kind of like, dark web spaces, but not really. Well, some of it could be dark web, but they'll get on these spaces, and a lot of times they feel like in order to evade law enforcement or to not get trapped or, not get into a conversation with the undercover, they will trade images. So it's like, hey, what do you got on your computer? And I'll give you what I got on mine, kind of sick shit. Because, they're all sick in the head, and love children in some sick way. But I'm wondering if the gag order isn't in place so that, one, they can get more suspects, two, they don't give out too much information to spook others. Who knows? I'm sure we'll figure it out. I'm sure they'll let us know in the end. But let's watch this little video that gives a little update about this.
Breaking news from Bibb County. 7 of the 8 people charged in a child sex abuse case involving an underground bunker entered not guilty pleas this afternoon. ABC 3340's Gracie Johnson was in court today, and she has the latest of what we're learning this hour.
The more we learn, the more chilling the details seem to be. And Friday's hearing painted a disturbing picture of what investigators believe happened to these children over the span of several years. Investigators also revealed that they have evidence that leads them to 15 to 20 still unidentified people who paid to enter the bunker. Bibb County investigator Justin Hobbs testified 2 of the child victims who were in DHR custody at the time first revealed what they called the secret bunker, saying they learned sexual behaviors there from suspect William Chase McElroy.
Oh, wow. And did you hear that? I wanted to make sure you guys caught that. 2 of the children were in custody at the time. Is that what she said? Shout out to Becky for gifting 5 memberships. Yessie, Jennifer, Carrie, Blicky, and Jersey got them. Congratulations to the 5 people who received a membership. The green team is going strong. I hope you guys, I don't know if it ever uploaded the short that I posted today. Did anybody see the Hey sister, did that actually upload or no? Uh, Congratulations, guys. But yeah, did you hear that? That the kids told them, maybe they're saying they're in custody now talking, but apparently this guy taught them what they needed to know. So let's listen.
Saying they learned sexual behaviors there. Bunker. Saying they learned sexual called the secret custody at the time. Hobbs testified 2 of the child victims who were in DHR custody at the time.
Oh, so I guess they testified while they were in DHR custody. Okay.
First revealed what they called the secret bunker, saying they learned sexual behaviors there from suspect William Chase McElroy. Hobbs said multiple victims, some as young as 2 years old, described being touched, whipped with belts, and shocked with electric dog collars. One child said she was forced to perform sex acts while some of the suspects laughed, took pictures, and video. The 8 defendants face charges including rape, sodomy, human trafficking, kidnapping, and sexual torture. Assistant District Attorney Brian Jones says they are charged under Alabama's accomplice liability law, meaning prosecutors allege each suspect participated in or enabled the abuse, even if they didn't commit every act themselves.
Wow.
Rarely do you have rapes and sodomies that fall under the complicity and the accomplice liability, but in this particular case, they were all involved in some degree to the abuse and to the rapes and sodomies and human trafficking and everything involved.
Hobbs testified some of the defendants admitted in interviews to drugging children with GHB, liquid ecstasy, and other substances. Those details came from the defendants themselves, not from toxicology testing. He also confirmed investigators have not recovered any of the alleged videos described by the victims. All 5 defendants in today's Aniah's Law hearing were denied bond. The 3 others remain in jail on no bond. In Bibb County, Gracie Johnson, ABC 3340 News.
Oh, hold on. I thought the news thing was over, but she was still talking. So let me show you this. Because this is, listen to this.
Our agencies have stepped in to help with the investigation.
Jesus.
News. Surrounding DHR, agencies have stepped in to help with the investigation. Investigators say the child victims have been removed from Bibb County out of an abundance of safety.
I would
The
appreciate it.
investigation is
Hell
still
yeah.
active and more arrests are possible.
I'm glad they did take the children out of that county just for themselves. I'm sure there are people who may have known the people. Some of the kids, I think their parents got charged. So it's probably best that they, for not only safety, but just for them. It's $4.99, Ashley, to be a member. GHB. I would assume it's like hold on, let me look it up just so I'm not. But yeah, so now there's, they drugged them, they did all these things. Yeah, she definitely has some flawless skin. It's a strong central nervous system depressant. It's It is illegally used as a recreational club drug and is known as the date rape drug. So there you go, the date rape. So they literally use GHB, date rape drug, for these children. And now, did you hear? Because I had heard that it was ages 3 to 15. This news report said as young as 2. Hey, 7, as young as 2 were involved. No, it's the date rape, Kelsey. Date rape drug. All right. So if you didn't see that short that I put in there for members only, it's just a funny little short. It's uploaded. Um, I was dying laughing when I saw that. I was like, "Oh no, I have to share that." All right, let's see. Manage videos. So this is going to be our main subject tonight. And like I said, it's a little different than most true crimes. There's still a trigger warning, obviously, because I feel like anything to do with the stuff we cover here is trigger warning. Um, but you guys may remember a family that I spoke about, and actually I showed some videos. Soft White Underbelly covered them, but it was the Whitakers. Does anybody remember the Whitakers that I had covered? Okay. The Whitakers, Soft White Underbelly covered them. They are an incestual family from Odd, West Virginia. There was a bunch of, Mike, is his name Mike? Anyway, Soft White Underbelly had interviewed them over the years. He started out as a photographer. He photographed them, and then he would bring a camera and he would do interviews with them and things like that. Over the years, there's been some controversy because um, the guy Mark, maybe his name's Mark. The guy with Soft White Underbelly raised a bunch of money for them on a GoFundMe, and it looked like they had hundreds of thousands of dollars, but over the course of while they were raising it, he was handing it out to them. And BJ was, I think, a niece to most of the Whitakers, and BJ ended up coming in and was begging for money, even faked her own dad's funeral to get donations. Well, come to find out, they had literally drained the GoFundMe and never did get a house built. Well, now there has been a man from Georgia that has come into their lives, and he came in and said that he was going to build them a house and the Amish were going to help. He was out allegedly getting these permits. Yes, his name is Eric. Eric was getting these permits. He was going to build the house. They were having some issue over the land because apparently where their house is now, it's not technically on all of their land and they couldn't find a flat place. Then he found a flat place. All these things happen. Well, BJ is the girl. She's a female. Um, she's the one who faked her own dad's death to get more donations out of this man, from Soft White Underbelly. You could tell she seems to have some type of addiction problem. She was actually evicted or served an eviction notice in late August. Well, they were starting to do all this for the family. BJ comes back a few days ago. Well, this Eric guy from Georgia, they then told him, Timmy, was it Timmy? I think it was one of them there, Larry, I think, they had told this guy, Eric, that they had witnessed BJ being abusive to both Timmy and Ray, I believe. And so this Eric man calls Adult Protective Services. I'm assuming their thoughts were to get BJ away, but it backfired. And yesterday, Lorraine, which is okay, in this picture, it's Lorraine from left to right, Lorraine, Timmy, and then the one who takes care of them, Betty, and then the last person is Ray. If you guys remember, Ray is the man who, in my opinion, barks like a dog because they have a little dog that barks. I think they probably always had a little dog, and it to me sounds like he's barking to try to communicate. Um, and you could always see their house was always very unkept, unclean. That you could tell they're in poverty. They always had Ray, especially, always had very dirty clothes on and things like that. That has been the case for 20, 30 years since people have been interviewing them. But now all of a sudden, things have backfired, and Adult Protective Services came in and took Lorraine, Timmy, and Ray. Um, and in my opinion, I don't know, this Eric guy just doesn't set right with me. So first we're gonna watch Eric talk about, now these videos came right after Adult Protective Services took these three out of the home. So first Eric gets on there. This is the guy from Georgia who was gonna help build their house. The second video is this guy named Patrick, who has also came in to help the family, and he is sitting with Larry and Betty talking about it. So let's take a look at what happened yesterday.
Hey guys.
This is Eric.
You hear anything? Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy has been taken. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to find out something. This was a recipe for disaster. We went 3 days in a row to get that protective order. 2 days we got denied. After the first 2 days it got denied, and I'm gonna get comments out of here, guys. I can't look at that. That's why I haven't been on social media.
So BJ, which is I believe it's Betty's niece, she is the one that they tried to get a protective order against for a few days, which is one reason that they were telling these abuse allegations. Of course, now Betty is saying that those abuse allegations are not true. It's becoming a very big mess.
I don't even want to look at it. Not after what's going on.
Yeah, Patrick lives near
We went
them.
2 days to get a protective order, and then we didn't get it. The only option we had at that point was to get Adult Protective Services involved. And then me and Timmy went and met with Adult Protective Services one day. Timmy was claiming he told us he had been beat by BJ. Betty said she had. Larry never told us he was, but Betty told us that she saw BJ hit him. Then, when we were supposed to be meeting with Adult Protective Services, and Betty was supposed to be going with me, which they were meeting her to give her 8 hours of caretaking, she no-showed and was off with Brandon. That's when Adult Protection Services came down there, because at this point, I'm broadcasting all over Facebook that I'm wanting them to do what just happened. They came down there, told Betty, no, he's trying to build you a home, which, guys, as of a couple of days ago, the Amish had agreed. We had permits, everything was ready to go, until I saw a hoop back on the property. It's gonna get good. I never went home. You people, some of you that didn't know me, you're about to find out. Give me a second. The emotions are high. We were
Yeah, the whole thing has been going on. I mean, they've lived there. Here's my thing is, if it was over the cleanliness and all that, that's been an issue, and if it's BJ, just get rid of BJ. Like, I don't know. Also, if Renee is Kimbo, that's a little weird. It's giving desperate if that really is you. I don't know why you'd be here, but
told when we got that protective order that if
Oh,
Betty
he
told
is? Hold
BJ
on.
or Larry, not just BJ. Someone saying Patrick saying this is because of BJ. Probably is. She's not supposed to be there, guys. She got caught cutting down telephone
Okay,
wire,
hold on.
melting the casing off.
Okay, let me go because he's on live right now, and I've pretty much given you kind of the gist, and we can go back to this. But they said he's on live right now, like dropping a bunch of tea. So, and this is going like super viral. Like their videos yesterday, literally within like minutes after they ended, already had like 200,000 views. I said, damn. But he is live right now, so let's see what he's got to say, because I knew this was going to get messy, messy, messy. We'll see what he's saying now, and then we'll go back.
Is easy to cut up with like we are. Dude, they are some of the most humorous and funny people I've ever met.
Oh, and the family
Great
values.
They got family values, dude. And that goes a
There's
long
10,000 people watching.
Yeah, I started talking to them
Yay,
about some of the
Carrie.
stuff I do with Dad Talk, like Jeff Younger's case, where he was just like, I can't listen to more stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, we don't even, oh my God, he was so upset about it.
Yeah, we don't drop
You
page
know.
names, Rhonda. But no, they're on Facebook.
Yeah. When I asked him, I was like, can I ask? He was like,
Welcome, Krista.
why are you guys so different, with the things you do and with the religion? He was like,
Yes,
we're not
Rhonda.
different.
I know his
We've
record
been the
is so
same for
long.
hundreds of years. He's like,
Y'all
we're
are
not the
different.
ones that's different.
Okay.
They're the ones that's different. The world's the one that's different, and it's changing every day. We haven't changed. We've been sitting on those same values.
I might
And
have
I
to
was
get
like,
the I might have
doggone it,
to
that's a good answer.
oh, he's been live for a couple hours.
That better
Okay.
not mean I have to grow a beard like that.
Okay. So what I'll do is because I don't like to just sit there like I don't know. You guys could be like that and that's fine, but I'll just go through and get some of the tea from that like I did with these videos, and then I'll just edit them for you guys. And then maybe we could watch them together or I'll just post them. But I would rather have like an edited version. I know that's awful and some people don't like that, but I just hate to like sit and just wait for the tea. Um but yes, Patrick, the dude that's helping them that you'll see at the end of this video, he does have a record. A lot of people feel like, of course, they're doing it for their own good. Patrick said that as of this was yesterday that this video was put together and done. But he said yesterday, which you'll see in a minute, that he was going to file for guardianship for all three of them and that Betty could have his house and all this stuff. So people are questioning both of their motives.
Give me a second. The emotions are high. We were told when we got that protective order that if Betty talked to BJ or Larry,
Oh, they
not just
did get it.
BJ. Someone saying Patrick saying this is because of BJ. Probably is. She's not supposed to be there, guys. She got caught cutting down telephone
Thanks,
wire,
Rhonda.
melting the casing off, and $25,000 worth of copper line. That I've been told, allegedly, get this, that Larry knew about it too. The copper. It gets better.
Hope you feel better, Tammy.
So then, all of this goes down. They say he's trying to get you to home. We try to make this like water under the bridge. On Thursday, we go to the Amish. That was the day, I guess, that the court date was. Guys, I was told 10 days from that day is what we had with that protective order. If you go back to every live, that's what I said. I, honest to God, thought we had 10 days. Now, the first 2 days when we were talking, I could have swore I saw a September 9th or 10th date. But regardless, and you'll find out why. I'm out here going to the Amish. I'm out here getting building permits. I'm out here taking everybody, doing everything. Who's the only one doing anything? Literally.
Lyric, thank you so much for gifting that membership and congratulations, Crystal. If you're just hopping on, this is about the Whitaker family I've covered before. They are an incestual family from West Virginia, odd West Virginia, which that's quite odd. And three of the family members that their sister Betty takes care of them. Three of them got taken by APS after this man and another man have kind of infiltrated their lives. Patrick does live down the road from them. Eric is from Georgia. He was going to allegedly build them a house for the Amish, and now all of this has happened, and three of them are in adult protective services or, in their custody.
The only one doing anything until my friends got here, which makes me so angry. What seemed like a normal day, we went, talked about the permits. I came on, give you guys the live, let you see what was going on, flood zones, everything that's going on. And I told Betty, they're not going to allow you to put the home there. One, it's supposedly not even your property, where your home is right now, and it's in the flood zone all the way over to where Larry's house was, where the camper went. There was a piece of property on the very back that was flat, where they could have built. And guess what? They wouldn't have been where they were. Could have got a new address where people aren't showing up to their house in the middle of the night. It would have been perfect. They could have been isolated. I came, told Betty about that. Everything was good. Everything. She said, I like that idea. Patrick told me at one point in time that Betty said she didn't want her house back there. Even though in a video, Betty tells me, I always wanted a house back there. My sister Judy used to be back there. Well, and then I'm here for Patrick. Well, Betty doesn't want her house back there. When I say something to Betty, but Eric, I never said that.
I think everybody doesn't give Betty enough. I don't think people expect enough accountability out of Betty. I think Betty plays more dumb than she is. I think that even with the money situation, when all that came out with soft white underbelly and BJ faked his funeral, Betty's who got on the phone and told Mark that it was true. Betty helped BJ and she's scared of her or whatever. I think she benefits from it too. I think she may be doing a little something, something too. And that's just my opinion because I've been around people not maybe as bad, like incestual as they are, but I have, I lived in West Virginia for 11 years. If anything, I know people that are from West Virginia. And there are some really good people from there, but there are also people like their whole life. If you don't understand how they grew up and what they went through, like it's hard, I think, to actually judge them the right way. But maybe that's just me being wrong. But I think Betty is much more aware of things and plays. Just like he said, Betty told everybody else that she didn't want her house back there. But then in front of him, it's, oh, well, who gives a shit where the house is? They're talking about one lot. It's one lot. So who cares if it's in the back of the lot, the front of the lot? They're willing to build you a house. Who cares? But yeah, that's just my opinion.
Regardless, we went walking the property.
Me too,
Just
Christine.
gonna
There's a
try
lot.
to find out what was going on. I noticed when I was walking the property on the backside, there is a place called
Yeah,
Devil's
Tina.
Backbone. I found 2 campfires, so definitely eyebrow raised, right?
That too, Jim.
Betty tells me that Lorraine is missing Timmy, and I know she was. She loves her son, guys. She loves her son. And she said, do you mind bringing him back? And I was like, is he still going to be able to go to Georgia with me? Yes, he'll be able to go to Georgia. Just make sure he calls her. I was like, make sure he calls every day. She said, he doesn't have to call every day. Just some. I said, no, he'll call every day. Went back. My friend Robert Mast, who had flown out from Idaho, almost 78 years old, had a former Amish friend that lived 4 hours away that drove all the way up here to see him. So we took him back to meet with at the Airbnb. And then while we was doing that, I got Timmy. Timmy did not want to go back, but I told him, you got to go see your mom. Okay, everything was going to be good. I had gotten Lorraine some special chips from the Amish. I kept chips in the back of my vehicle.
Yes, Barbara.
And I would give her a bag at a time.
You also have to understand that Betty is all of their payees, in my opinion and my assumption, and Lorraine, which is Timmy's mother. So you have Lorraine and Timmy, and they never will say who Timmy's father is, which in my opinion is one of the brothers. But I digress. You have Lorraine and Timmy, mother and son, and then you have their brother, Lorraine, Betty, and all of them's brother, Ray, the one I said, in my opinion, barks as a communication tool. You have all 3 of them. They all 3, in my opinion, get a check. So Betty loses out on 3 Social Security checks by Adult Protective Services taking them out of the home. Plus, probably lots of food stamps and everything else.
The second I got out of that vehicle, I see those hands. And I wanted to react then, but I'm getting information about what's going on, guys. I said, I'm going to go up, talk to Lorraine, and have that moment with her before I ask about the camper. And what pissed me off is when I did that, after I did that, I said, Larry, who's in the camper? Nobody's in the camper. Larry, who's in the camper? I didn't even play it off. I just kept going. He was going to lie to me. I
Wow.
went back and rewatched. There was a guy that has a channel, YJ the author, I think. He was the closest one on his coverage, guys. I
Hey,
want
Mary.
you to know, bud, I was really respected your work. You were about 95% correct. Because there's so much. The internet's loose and people make your accusations in the comments. You have no idea what you're talking about. And you're about to get the true story. Once I find out what's going on, everything that happens
I know,
in the dark
Kelly.
will come to the light.
Me too, Becky.
And I think it's about to now. I beg any that is involved with what's going on right now, come
Yeah,
in.
it's a huge thing. This
I'm
is
a
going to be a
open book.
huge thing, and
I
it's
have nothing
playing
to hide.
out.
I forgot what I was talking
So
about.
definitely
There's so
catch up
much.
if you haven't,
I
because
don't know what's going to happen.
it's crazy.
When I know, I will let you know. But
It's
here's
gonna
the
get
thing.
bigger
When
and
Adult
worse.
Protection Services came down there. Betty told them about the abuse and everything that was going on. When BJ showed back up in that house, guys, and do you know how many people I've been watching in the comments saying they was going to report it? It was inevitable. They can only get so many calls before they have to act. And I'm going to tell you,
Yeah, lovely.
they weren't going out of their way, but every time
At-
I see Ray,
yeah, and definitely
he is sitting
Patrick.
in his own urine. Feces all over him.
Yes.
Lorraine has been trying to tell me something about her head for months. And then when
You remember, so Timmy, which is Lorraine's son, he has every time we see a video of this man, he has a place on the top of his head. And he kept trying to tell Soft White Underbelly whenever he would record him, in my opinion, he was trying to tell him that he had got hit with a hammer in the head. That's exactly what it looked like. He kept talking about a hammer, and it was like Mark would do videos like 6 months apart, and the man would have the same place in his freaking head every single video, and I believe him. Ray, when we watched a video, one time Soft White Underbelly went there, Ray had feces all the way down, front and back, all the way past his knees, and he had a pair of jeans on that were, like, too big for him, and you could see the feces stains all the way on the front and back. So that's why I don't understand, like, is the abuse allegation now coming in? Is that why they're taking them? Like, why have they not stepped in years ago? Because they were living in horrible conditions. Ray was sitting, and I believe him, sitting in his own urine and feces for a long periods of time. And so were Lorraine and Timmy, I'm sure.
When Lorraine starts trying to tell me, I get told some BS excuse about a bee sting. And I've asked Lorraine, it's on video. Lorraine, is
Yeah,
that
Jen,
from a bee sting?
maybe.
No. But I'm here, the one that really got me. We didn't, and then the court order. While I'm out there doing this with the Amish, getting the permits, and then I'm made to think, oh, it's your fault. You knew when it was not. I said 10
no
days
bail.
from the very beginning. I found out. It's public record. Make a call. You'll find out. They told her they would give her a continuance. She denied it for BJ. She
Wow.
denied it. She said the abuser could stay at the house.
Wow.
Now, when you admit that someone beat Ray,
Yeah, PW.
beat Timmy, beat yourself, beat her dad, stealing copper wire, doing the things that they're doing, what did you think was going to happen? I knew this was going to happen. And they have nobody to blame but themselves. There's more, guys. I want to get off of here. And I promise you, you'll get
All
more
right, now
later.
listen to this.
One of the biggest slaps in the face to Mr. Patrick over there. I get a call from the condo where
I don't
rented
know,
the
Barbara.
Airbnb. Patrick played on my heartstrings. I need
He's a
somewhere
guy
to
from
stay.
Georgia.
I just want to get away for a while. I don't want no one around. I just want to get off, and you think you can get me a room up there? I was like, yeah, you can do that. Do you mind getting it in your name? Sure, Patrick. Just pay me back out of next month's money. After everything else
wow.
that I've been taken care of, right? I get him a condo. He was staying right next to me in the Airbnb, guys, because he said he needed to heal. That condo was freaking trashed, man. Hold on, I'll get to all that in
wow.
a little bit. I'm getting information
Right,
about
Caroline.
what's going on. And I've
That's
got a
my
lot to go
thing.
through, guys. That condo was trashed. Dog poop, chewing tobacco all over the
You'll
pillows,
beat Patrick
the
next.
walls, you name it. Pills all over the floor. Don't worry, I've got the video. The back doors were left wide open. When he got out,
'Cause it
Moose
wasn't
was
in
with
his
him and his
name.
other dog, and I said, Patrick, does the owner know you got that dog with you? And he said, oh yeah, I told him. No, I didn't. Not only that, he goes and puts them on the kitchen counter in this brand new renovated place. Decoration for the condo that became spittoons, diapers on the floor, stains all over the couch, pills all over the floor. Literally, I don't know. How do you get snuff on couches, countertops? Like the kitchen sink was full of it. Big wads of it all over the floor. Poop all over the back deck. And guess whose name it was in, guys? You guys think you have no idea what I've been through up here. And I'm a good friend. I wanted him to get better. This is his record. It's like a freaking Bible. I'd like to say something. His mom and sister, his family are good people. And she's went through the loss of 2 of her sons. And I hate for this to happen. I really do. But then I found pleading guilty to stalking and sexual crimes just last month. And Timmy's in Victoria's Secret just a few days ago, and we're getting him to take pictures with women while he's in it too. I'm a little hot right now, guys.
I think they're on opiates.
I'm about to go find
opioids.
out what's going on with that family. I could
That's
care
what
less
I
about
think.
the social media.
Beggars.
I haven't been on here doing the gimmick or the YouTube. I knew when this happened, the YouTube was probably going away, and it sucks. I put a lot of work behind it, and I'm a very passionate guy. The whole time I was up here,
May, I'm not on either side. And definitely not Betty's side. I think them being taken by Adult Protective Services may be the best thing for them. Although, I will say on the flip side, they have been a family forever. That's all they know. They can't really communicate, and Betty does know how they communicate and things like that, and that could be detrimental to them. However, I think as far as their health, their living conditions and things like that, they have a better chance at like an assisted living. Let's not forget, they all three have income. They all three get a check from the state. They all three have um, Medicaid or Medicare, whatever, which one they have. They all have that. So I think an assisted living place or something like that, where they all three may be able to be together in somewhere like that, may be best for them. But I do think the living conditions and the way they were living and being cared for was not acceptable. And it hasn't been for years. It's not like this is anything new. Shout out to Lyric gifting a membership, and congratulations to Untamed Lioness for receiving it. But that's just my opinion. It is a very long story, but this video is not long,
I was
not that much
busting my
longer.
ass, not even hardly sleeping, taking money out of
But I've covered the Whitakers in the past. We've talked about the GoFundMe scandal. So we've covered all of the like that's why this story for people who have been here, I've covered the Whitakers. I've showed the soft white underbelly videos. We talked about all the GoFundMe and the scandal and saying they didn't get the money and all that. So this is just the next chapter, you know.
my pocket, and then having someone do that to me, that's how I get repaid. I don't know how they can look at them. And you know what? After everything I did for that family, the movies, the new clothes, all of it.
Yes, Sarah.
I never heard a thank you. And I don't do it for the thank you. I literally have done stuff like this all my life, guys.
Yeah,
You think
May.
this is about
I
the
think
likes,
she's
clicks, or
on
views? You don't know me much. I already had a platform.
Methiana.
And I really would much rather be at home, and I didn't want to be on, so I don't even want to be on it here now. But this is what happens, and what sucks is now the whole thing is about
I didn't see
scandal instead of the family getting the home they deserve. They literally
Lyric.
had a log cabin built by the Amish. How to happen? Free. You guys don't know the half of it.
They want the money.
I tried to cover for you. I hope you would get better.
Wow, he tried to cover for Patrick. See, I think Patrick's right in there with I think he supposedly lives down the street from them. He's got a record a mile long. I think he may dibble and dabble, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know him personally. This is just my personal opinion. Shout out to Lyric, member for a month. Connie, when you have time, could we do a member live to do a quick rundown who was who in this case? Sure, yeah. I showed one picture earlier, but yeah, I'll definitely run it all down.
I really did. You weren't even supposed to be at that concert. Ray had an orthopedic visit
Eric.
the day before, and you didn't. You had one thing to do: get Ray to the orthopedic visit. I came all the way up here from Georgia, and you told me I would not be able to get him a doctor's appointment, and I said that was the whole reason I was coming up here. And you said, you're not from West Virginia. It don't work that way up here. You're from Georgia. We don't
that's
just get
some
visits like
bullshit.
that. I had Ray at the doctor the next day, guys.
Exactly.
He had an orthopedic visit, and Patrick was the one supposed to take him. Ray
Well, you
didn't
don't
make
it
that
together.
orthopedic visit. Instead, he
Melissa?
ended up at a bluegrass concert where Patrick broke his leg.
Oh,
Y'all need to start. You've been asking the questions to the wrong guy.
Right,
here, but
Kelly.
I've got your answers, and I can't. I really hoped he was going to straighten up, guys, but this has been going on for years. But I've been leaving you breadcrumbs all along. This was going to happen. I'll give you this much, and then I'll give you some more later. The first time I was up here, after we recorded that
I think they blew up the camper because I think, in my opinion, knowing the area, knowing what's going on, knowing the climate of where they are in West Virginia, I could probably put my salary on the fact that, in my opinion, that camper was basically blown up from cooking something, and it wasn't breakfast.
interview on YouTube, meet Patrick and Eric. Next thing I know, he is in the parking lot of the hotel at the Skyline.
Yeah, Dawn.
Cussing up a storm.
I
Come
showed
up
him.
here, MFer, you know what? I'll beat your ass, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the heck is
Right.
going on? When I walk outside, he just throws the phone at me. He's like, here, you take care of it.
They had
Take care
over
of what?
They got over 200 and some thousand, I believe, right? Something like that from the soft white underbelly. And I do believe that he gave it to them. He has the receipts. I don't think there are some things about him that are iffy, in my opinion, but I do think he gave him the money. Not only that, he had to pay taxes on all of that money because he did not want to mess up their Social Security benefits because they all get Social Security checks. he did not want to mess up their Social Security check. So he took that money as if he got that money himself. He paid the IRS taxes for that money. I'm talking about soft white underbelly. They got over $200,000. And the only mistake that I think he made is that he was giving them the money as it came in. Basically, they would call and say, we need to pay a bill for 500, we need 1,000 for this, we need 2,000 for this, we need a new roof, we need but they never really changed their living conditions with all that money. They didn't really do anything with the money. Like, it all got, like, where did it go? That much money, and it just, and they're still getting checks the whole time they're getting this money. There's something not right when there's 5 of them. Even if they got $800 a month, that's 5 people getting $800 a month, plus all this money in donations they were getting. Right, Mark did not need their money. Like I said, there are some things that I'm iffy about, and they did give me 7 days to take down the videos that I had where I had covered the Whitakers. So you won't find those videos because they did put a copyright claim on some of them. Excuse me. But I do think there's iffy things about him. I don't think that's one of them. I don't think scamming them was one of them. But yeah.
No idea what I'm running into, guys. No idea. I get on this phone and the guy starts cussing at me, and I said, "You better watch yourself there, dude. You don't know who you're talking to." And like,
Yeah, he bought
I'm
a
gonna get
truck.
involved in this, but tell me what's going on. That guy's on there trying to act like a saint. He owes my 73-year-old grandmother $1,200 he stole from her. As I look over and he's leaning over the railing, I said, "This guy just said you stole from his grandmother. Is that true?" Nods his head yes, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Wow.
What have I got myself into?
Yep.
I wanted to get in my car and take off. And I was this close, but I said, he told me the truth. As unflattering as the truth was, he told me the truth, and I really thought he loved Timmy, and people can change. Now, that guy that money to his grandmother, I'm sure you'll probably end up watching this, but it's not just that, guys. Donation money, you name it, getting people to pay for FaceTime and Timmy.
That's crazy.
It goes on. Now I'm filters. So, yeah, have fun, funny. I got it out of here.
They are definitely,
it's
in
not
my
funny
opinion,
about it.
they know, especially Betty, BJ, Larry, they are very aware of what they're doing. Like he said, FaceTiming with Timmy. Now, I think Lorraine, I mean, I think she knows when they're talking to her and things like that. But Lorraine, the 3 that they took out of the home have very, um, they definitely have cognitive issues, and they definitely could not, in my opinion, take care of themselves by themselves. They definitely need some type of caregiver, in my opinion. And so having FaceTimes with Timmy, and they get, people paying them money like $50, $10, whatever the hell, $5, basically exploiting. That's what they're doing. They're exploiting them for their gain. Um, and that's crazy because I don't think Timmy and them are getting the money.
I don't know why does filter pop up on a Facebook Live? Anyway.
Yeah, Melanie, me too.
Spill the beans.
But not scamming.
And to Patrick's mom and sister, I'm sorry. You guys don't deserve this. But, Patrick, you need to go on and tell the
Oh,
truth.
it's played out on
I
live.
have nothing to hide. If
Most of
anybody's
it.
ever sent money to this family, outside the one time I asked you to send money to for the
As far as I know, he involved himself. But I'll look
Airbnb,
more
and
into
as soon
it.
as I got what I needed, I went on there and said,
But that's
stop
what I
sending
see.
money. I've got what I needed. If anybody ever sent money to this family, put it down in the comments. We need to know
Yeah,
where that money came
definitely,
from.
Kelly.
I want 100% of it accounted for. Because I don't think I've been told the truth, and I don't think the family has either.
He definitely hasn't been
Whoever
told the
sent
truth.
money, put it down in the comments. What was
See?
done in the dark, it's time for it to come to light. I
think
blew the
he came
whistle
up.
in a group with people that
I think his approach, I think this guy wants to help, but I think his approach, maybe the house building or being able to do this for people, maybe he's trying to build a channel. I don't know. I don't think his intentions were to scam, do all these things,
FaceTime for Timmy
Oh,
not
okay.
long ago and
There you
said this
go.
is not supposed to be happening. There was lots of people involved. This is not a cash cow here.
That's what
The Whitakers,
Messy, that's
very
true.
easy
That's the only part.
to manipulate people, and they get a lot of attention. The worst drug on the face of this earth is attention, guys. You think crystal meth and crack and all that's bad? The things that people will do for attention will blow your freaking mind.
Yeah,
The last
Melanie,
thing
I
on
don't
the face
either.
of this earth you're never going to see
He's
me do
helping the
is
Whitakers.
take advantage of a special needs family. This was going on before I got involved.
Eric has a large
I was
channel.
asked
Okay.
to get involved.
There you go.
And I gladly accepted. But I've got to look at myself in the mirror at the end of the night, and I got kids that I want to show them the right way.
Okay,
And
there you
this
go,
is
guys.
the last thing I wanted for my babies is to be in a public spot putting up with crap like this. But I'm not leaving Timmy. I don't know where, I don't know how, but I'm gonna find you, buddy. I'm coming, and you guys can bet on that. I'll see you.
No wonder all them phone calls we've been getting.
What?
No wonder all them phone calls we've been getting all day long.
Okay, so seated on the couch, that is Betty on the left. Now, Lorraine, Timmy, and Ray got taken by Adult Protective Services. Lorraine and Ray are her brother and sister. Timmy is her sister Lorraine's son, so that's her nephew. So they all live together in the same house, and they are the Whitakers. And their family, like people have said in the comments, they are basically known as the most incest family to exist in America. I don't know if it's the world. I know for sure in America. And they're from Odd, West Virginia. So Betty, which is on the left-hand side of your screen, she is the caregiver for her brother and sister, Lorraine and Ray, and her nephew, Timmy. She's their caregiver, and they all live together. Those three were taken by Adult Protective Services, and this is the video after that happened. So on the couch is Betty. The guy in the middle is Patrick. He lives down the road from them. He was in an Airbnb. That's the guy who Eric, that you just saw, is talking about. Eric was saying that he put him in an Airbnb because he needed to heal and he paid for it, and this guy trashed it. And now he's thinking that this guy was getting donations on behalf of the family and wasn't giving them the donations, all kinds of things. So there's kind of been a split. As of before, Patrick, they said, is who actually asked Eric to come help. Apparently, Eric has a big YouTube channel and does these things, I guess. So Patrick asked him to come help, and it's went to hell in a handbasket, basically. The guy on the right, he is their cousin, I believe. He's actually he's a relative of the Whitakers, and his name is Larry. So let's take a listen.
Gone. I've been home all day. And I didn't even answer them. She's always just going to check them out. That's what she told me.
Yeah, I wait for a little bit of people to come in here so everybody can know what's going on. We don't have to try to say it 1,000 times.
You what, Jaden? All right. Ain't a whole bunch of cops down there, too. A whole bunch of them. I don't know how many was down there. I didn't know there. Jeffrey come over to tell me. I guess Connie told me to come over to tell me. I was in the bathtub, baby. Why didn't stop me down there? I got out of the tub, put my pants back on. Oh, gosh.
So I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but the state just come in and took Timmy and Lorraine and Ray. We don't know much more about that. Yep, this is true. So what I thought was going to be the day of...
Okay, well, who's on the right? Oh, is he the cousin that showed up at Walmart that lives in the little house next to them? What is his name? I thought that was Larry. That's the cousin. See, I'm used to seeing him with the hat on. Is that the cousin that showed up at Walmart, and I thought he was trying to get something from Mark? Following the Whitaker family, Mark was screwed by BJ. I like Eric. He was getting things done, and BJ came back. Patrick is a local who is spending thousands of their money. I feel like that's definitely the case of it. I feel like that's a good summary of it, Nancy. Yeah, spitting in a bottle, I know. Beverly Hillbillies, right? I see. Kenny. Okay, Kenny is one of the brothers. Okay. Is he the one that showed up at the Walmart and acted like he said he needed to get a new phone? I know he was trying to get a phone that day. Yeah, but they got family, Kelsey, that there's a Larry in their family. BJ's dad is named Larry. BJ's dad is Larry. He's the one that they faked his funeral.
Getting on here and being transparent with people, since everybody thinks this is a scam.
Oh, okay,
that me and
Barbie.
Eric are making money off the Whitakers and they don't get nothing out of it. That's false. That is, I talked to Creepalachia this morning, and I told him that I would come and sit down with him and I would show him whatever he needed to see in order to squash that for the people out there that are playing the troll. So I got Betty here. Larry come up here, and Kenny, not a good day. So apparently the state come down here and they said, well, they told me that they come down here because the living conditions down there wasn't good enough for
Patrick's in the
Timmy
middle.
and Lorraine and Ray to live there, but I guess it's good enough for Betty to live there. And Larry. They're saying that it's because of BJ. I'm sure that part of it is because of BJ, but other than that, they have their own way of doing things, so we just let it go at that. There's nothing I can do about it. What kind of comments are we getting, John?
Yeah, he does, Missy.
People's asking comments. Prayers.
Big record.
Go. I'm going tomorrow morning to file for guardianship of all three of them.
That's the worst thing that could happen, in my
Even
opinion.
if I have to live somewhere else. The truth always comes out.
That is the worst thing, in my opinion. If he files for guardianship of them, and then he's their payee and all this, I think that's the worst thing that could happen. But that's my opinion.
Everybody knows that. Well, they need to stay down there. Betty's exhausted. I don't know.
I'll get him back and just watch the TV.
We'll do whatever we can, Betty, to get him back. Jeff can come on over.
Hey, Dimitri.
Say, Jeff. What is it? What?
He said he'll call you later. It's never been an issue before. Why now?
Well, yeah, Betty's pretty shook up. She don't care. She said she didn't care if she had to sleep on a couch, as long as she could be with her siblings again.
BJ did not take Timmy and Lorraine. The state did.
BJ didn't take Timmy and Lorraine. The state did.
Betty's not innocent because Betty sat there and told the state that BJ beat on all of them and did all these things. And now, seconds after this is happening, now she's sitting on camera saying that none of it's true.
And Ray. And Timmy raised 40 kinds of hell whenever he left here.
Although, like I said, as far as them, they've been together their whole lives. That's all they ever know is each other. Clearly, that's why their family was the way it was, because especially in the years past, geographically, that's all they had was each other. You know, they didn't have a way to get around. They lived up in the mountains, like, you know, that's how they ended up being incestuous, in my opinion. But that's all they know is each other. So in that part, it's heartbreaking. But I don't think Betty's innocent at all.
And I can't imagine what's going through his head right now. Ambulance. They put all three of them in an ambulance. Well, they put two of them in police cars. And
What?
did they put them in ambulance or police cars? Because I've seen ambulance. I just want to verify that.
They put all three in an ambulance.
There were 3 carloads of state troopers and 3 ambulances that come here. Right now, they're going to Bar H. They're going to the hospital.
He's 80?
Go, Lodi. Betty, I don't know what to do.
She ain't 80.
Listen, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. There's nothing you can do this evening. We'll go in the morning. I'll go file papers in the morning. I can't file nothing tonight. Back down.
Back down there.
I don't know why they took them to the hospital. I guess to get them assessed. They've been beat.
Since somebody's been watching now. Social workers did, yeah, somebody's been watching now. And nobody ain't beat on them. No. They ain't. Because Tina knows they're not, because it was up our history. That's what then somebody had to butt in our business and tell it everything, and it's not.
She says somebody had to butt in our business and tell them everything and say they beat on them, and nobody's beat on them. But allegedly, she was one of them that told Adult Protective Services. I don't know if she just thought, because they were trying to get a protective order against BJ. So I don't know if in her mind she thought that she was just trying to do what was best as far as getting a protective order and getting BJ out of there. But if that's the case, then why did she then drop the freaking protective order? So it doesn't make sense. Because if that's the case, if she thought it was just to get the protective order and get them safe or whatever, then you wouldn't have dropped it. And maybe that's why they came in and stepped in, because she then, you know, changed her story, whatever happened. I don't know.
That's true.
About what?
And Ray won't like it. I know Ray won't. Ray been taking the bed over there.
They'll have to strap Ray down.
They won't strap him down.
I'm telling you, they will have to strap him down if he gets out of hand. That's probably what they're going to have to do. I don't know where this is going, but I know that it's not going in the direction that it needs to go in. I want people to know, and this is because I can do it. I'm willing to give Betty my house, and I'll go live somewhere else, just so she can have her brothers and sisters back. I've been homeless before, and I'll gladly do it again. They won't hurt Ray.
They better not. They lay a hand on one of them, they would regret it.
Timmy's in the hospital.
I want somebody to help me out.
What?
I hope somebody help me out.
You can have my house. You can have it. Somebody
She said, I hope somebody will help me out.
is willing to fix it up, you can have it.
I don't want your house.
You can have it.
I don't want your house. I'm going to be real estate. I am. You won't have nowhere to go.
Trying to catch some questions here, but they're coming in faster than I can read them.
It is Lyric.
Right. Well, this is just something that we'll have to figure out. So, I know this is a short video, but we'll have to figure out something. So, this will be all for this evening. We'll see y'all later.
So, and like I said, this story is definitely not over. It continues and continues. It's every day. Both parties going live. I don't think they're on there every day or whatever, but yeah, there's a lot that's going on, and a lot that's went on since everything started. And this has been going on for years. This is flat out sad. I really don't think this should have happened at all, but money starts making a fool of people. Yeah, and it's been happening ever since they started getting recognition and being online, and people started getting really into their videos, and people are fascinated by, things that are out of society norm. So if it's not the norm of society, people are they want to see into that world. And then, it's sensationalized when you walk up on the porch and Ray comes out and it sounds like he's barking like a dog and all of these things. But this is that family's life. And I think that they have I think over the years, people have started coming around them. Obviously, when we first saw the videos of them, they lived up there in that house, and the only person that came out was a freaking neighbor. And the neighbor came out with a shotgun, like, you're not going to mess with this family, because people had, tried to basically tour and make it like a tour of, a visitation place, because they were known because of Mark's photographs that were in these, books that he did, because that's what Mark did. He took photographs all over the world and made them into basically your perfect coffee table book, where it had, I think one of his books, he did all black and white pictures, and I believe that is the one that the Whitakers were featured in. And people were just so fascinated, because if you look at the picture, let me show you the picture just so you will understand. Whitaker family, Mark's picture, because he's taken several over the years, but I think this was the one that everybody really, I think this was one of the first ones that people really saw. And so that is Timmy in the middle, so when he was younger. So, and I think this on the left is Ray, and in the middle is Timmy, and I don't know who's on the right, but I know for sure that's Timmy, and I believe that's Ray. I could be wrong, but for sure. So Timmy is one of them that got taken yesterday, and now, of course, he's older, but he's in his 40s, I believe. But this was him when Mark took the picture, and people were just fascinated. This is one of the first pictures that they had of them. And these are, I think, some of the more updated ones. Okay, so you can see here. So from left to right on the top. All right, left to right on the top. Lorraine and Timmy, mother and son. In the middle is Betty. Betty is the caregiver. On the right, you have Ray. And then on the far right, that is Larry. That's BJ's. And I apologize that I got that one wrong. That's Larry on the far right. That is BJ's dad, the one that was faked the funeral. And if you look down here, I think this is okay. So if you look on this one down here, look at Timmy when he was a little boy. On the left here, this is Timmy, Lorraine, and Betty. Timmy looked like a normal little boy. Wait, is it not showing the right one? He looked like a normal little boy in the picture. Let me see here. Hold on. Okay, so this picture here. This is on from the left. That's Timmy, Lorraine, and Betty. Timmy looked like a little boy, just a regular little boy. Yeah, I fixed it. Sorry, guys. I was wondering. I'm like, can y'all not see the picture? My bad, y'all. The tabs were both named the same, so I thought I was on the right tab. No, it was my fault, y'all. My fault. My fault. Huh? Is that a boy in the on the middle? So the picture you're looking at now, well, it's okay, so it won't let me do it anymore. But see, it's like a collage. But if you look at this bottom left-hand picture, this one. Okay, so there's three people on the screen now, and it's the little boy is Timmy, Lorraine's in the middle, and then you have Betty. I don't think her brain is right and she knows any better. Yeah, I'm not trying to show the entire pic. I'm just trying to show the three people in the left corner. Right? He looks like just a normal child. But yeah, I'm not showing you guys the whole pic. I'm just showing you this one picture on the bottom left corner. Of course, it's my fault. But yes, right. But this is now him. Okay, this one in the bottom right-hand corner, this is when he was like, I don't know how old, but you can see as he got older, it's just so strange to me, like nurture and nature and just all of it. And then at the top now, of course, you have all of them. This was a more recent photo on the very top. Maybe it's not. I don't know. That's what I've always been told is that's who that was. So I'm sure it's one of their family. Oh, look, and here's all four of them. This is at Walmart that day. I showed this video. Um, this is one of the videos that I got a copyright and had to take it down. But this is Betty, Lorraine, Timmy, and Ray. So in the middle, Lorraine and Timmy, they are mother and son. The three of them, Lorraine, Timmy, and Ray, are the three that Adult Protective Services took out of the home. So, but yeah, here's another one. This is from one of the, I think this screenshot here or whatever is from one of the videos. You can see Timmy, Lorraine, Betty, Larry, Ray, and I don't know which one that is because I thought his name was different than it is. That's Kenny. So yeah, but yeah, so that's going on. That's definitely, like I said, I mean, it's getting lots of attention. A lot of people are following along. A lot of people are curious if they will get them back from Adult Protective Services or what Adult Protective Services is going to say as far as where they can go. You know, there are other brothers and sisters that have moved away. Betty talks about the fact when I think they were on the way to Walmart, and Betty talks about the fact that, you know, her other brothers and sisters, you know, got married and moved away or whatever the case may be. Like someone mentioned, I think it was Anne. Anne said that there are 15 siblings. So obviously you have Lorraine, Ray, and Betty. That's three. But then there's also 12 others allegedly. Now, I do know that some of them have passed away. I know they've had, I believe, at least two brothers pass away. BJ is Larry's daughter. So Larry, that was pictured with them a few times, it's her daughter. So I think she's Betty's niece somehow because obviously they're incest. So a lot of times they could be a cousin and a niece and who so I don't know. And that's no shade, that's fact. Um but yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of True Crime Tuesday. A little bit different, but I did want to cover that story and like I said I do feel like with everything that's happened, I feel like there's probably crimes in this story that just may have not been and it's not a laughing matter, but it just I feel like there's some crime involved somewhere, especially in this story, and probably with multiple people. Obviously, you heard that BJ stole like $25,000 worth of copper out of the electrical lines up there. I guess because sometimes they'll change the electrical lines and they'll leave up the old ones, and especially up in places like they live in West Virginia, so there'll be dead poles to where there's no electricity running through them, especially in the coal mines that have shut down and things like that. So they'll go and steal that stuff and steal the copper out of it. And she was, she's been in jail and kinds of stuff. Very interesting tonight. Thanks, Connie Boo. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Um, oh yeah, Eureka. They have definitely admitted it. I mean, their family tree admits it. So yeah. Do you think the government should have taken them as kids? And see, that's a huge argument around this family, Colette, is people say, why were they not taken as children? Especially because now Lorraine could have had boyfriends and things like that, but you can tell that Lorraine is clearly disabled and has special abilities. And so people have said, who is Timmy's father? How does one get pregnant in her condition? Um, and that's again no shade, that's fact. I've never heard them say who his father was. If anybody else has that's followed for years, let me know. But you have this obvious child right there, that has come out of the situation, and she is clearly, you would think, she needs a caregiver. She's not able to care for herself on her own, in my opinion. And so it makes you question, who's the father to Timmy? But that is a huge argument about it, is should the state step in and take the children that are products of incest relationships? And that's huge, I think, because anytime you let the state involved in matters of mother and child, it's like they can't just have that one thing they focus on. They throw in like 3 or 4 other things, and then you have the government controlling how you parent. So people have a hard time really coming to a hard stance on certain things because they feel like it's a slippery slope. If I say yes, the government should come in on this, then that will lead to other things, and that's just how politics are, I guess. You never heard of this one? Yes, Mary, I have covered them a few times, just like I said, over the course of I just introduced them one night. We were just having like a random night where we would just talk about different things, and I would Google videos and stuff, and we were just talking. And this has been months ago, and we talked about the Whitakers, I think a few nights. And then when the whole thing came out about them basically saying on a podcast that Soft White Underbelly didn't give them the money. I mean, they didn't come right out and say it, but they didn't deny it when they were basically asked if it happened. And so I covered all of that, and now we have this. So it seems like it's an ongoing thing. But, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you soon around 11 o'clock for Malarkey. I hope you'll join me. If not, I will see you Thursday for another episode of True Crime with me, your host, Feminine and Fierce. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.